Did I miss a joke? Somebody had a good joke? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Back in high school, I remember we had the hair, our hair was down to here. It was during that time. Like, we didn't even cut your hair then. All right, on that note, I'll just open it up and, yeah, listen, we're on, obviously, the Raiders, and it's a big week. It's a rival week, so we're fired up about that. And another home game, which is good.
Steve, yesterday Drew talked about just making adjustments after that first drive. It seems
Yeah.
like that's been a consistent thing with you guys. Is that based on what you're seeing, but also, like, I assume you gotta have the guys that can sort of...
Yeah, I would put it right back on them, Sam. Like we're very fortunate, we being the whole defensive staff, in that we have real cerebral guys. I mean, Drew's right up there, Nick. I mean, they come over, they see things, feel things, hear things out there that I can't hear. And they're always relaying it. And then, and Brendan and Joe and Dave and Matt and all the coaches they kind of get together. We did a good job with that. I mean, we kind of hang our hat on that, hope to do it at every game. Because, all these teams that script these, it gets tough, because there's people moving all over the place. And it's usually things that we haven't seen or worked on. But our guys do a good job of settling in.
Steve, I know you're on the Raiders, but the first touchdown that got called back was kind of a unique situation.
Yeah.
Refs have a conference and everything. What's going on with you and Andy and talking to them, and how did that kind of play out?
Yeah, I'm distraught that they scored, first of all, because that's the first thing. I remember the rule now. It didn't pop in my head at that moment. Because I don't even remember if he got under, if he was out of the gun. I couldn't, I just saw the motion. And what I remember from the play is I thought Trent McDuffie, he almost stopped it, but he was out there by himself. There was something else that should have happened defensively, and we got that all squared away. But I thought the effort he gave to almost get that thing defended. I mean, Goff did a great job getting in there. But, listen, I was happy that we were very fortunate on that play that it went that way, and it resulted in a field goal instead of a touchdown.
Was your sideline hollering out to them, hey, check this, or did they kind of figure it out on their own?
From my standpoint, I remember them, they just figured it out. That's the way I remember it. I couldn't tell you if anybody else on the back was saying, hey, that's a penalty. But I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Steve, yesterday Drew Tranquil mentioned Joe Cullen's run meetings. Can you talk about how those have really kind of set the stage for the week in defending the run?
Yeah, we every coach on our staff has an area. Joe's is the run game. Brendan on the same day does play action pass and drop back pass on first and second down. Dave Merritt third down, Matt red zone, and everybody. Rod's involved in all that. But Joe kicks it off. Joe's got some energy to him. So, but I think the credit really goes to the players get dialed in right from the beginning on Wednesday morning, because we always begin, no matter what team we're facing, with stopping the run. I say it all the time. If they're two-dimensional or can be two-dimensional, that's tough on us. So let's try to make it a one-dimensional game.
Where are you seeing growth in the pass rush when you break 4 or less?
Growth?
No blitz, yeah. How
Yeah.
you evaluate it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought as the game, I think Andy might have mentioned this, but as the game wore on, and this, because I thought Detroit did a good job early, where we didn't get some pressure. They decided that one drive where they were just going to throw it, and they had some success. And, he maybe had a little more time than we really wanted. But I thought as the game got rolling and our guys got used to who they were going against, I thought it got better. So hopefully it'll keep going like that. Hopefully we can begin that way.
How much of that was you talk about complementary football, and obviously you guys are getting stops,
Yeah.
getting them off the field. Andy can be maybe a little more conservative or put
Yeah.
back, but when the offense gets going and when you get that, you basically got a double score. And
That's
how much
yeah.
does that make your job?
We love to be in that mode all the time. It does make a huge difference. I call it a little bit differently. I think the guys on defense, they think a little bit differently, and they should. And most teams offensively, when they get in, down 2 possessions, certainly down 3 possessions, you're going to see a lot more passes. And I think our guys can pin their ears back and play it as such. And again, it goes back to that's headed toward the one-dimensional. And that's a team thing. It's complementary football, just like you said, sir.
Steve,
Last
Steve,
couple, we'll go Harold and then Matt.
when it comes to Chamarri and Brian, they had mentioned both just the communication at the beginning, but now it's progressed.
Yeah.
And how have you seen it from your eyes, just how they've progressed back there to not only fix the communication areas, but play pretty decent.
Yeah, I think both those guys had really good, solid games. I mean, Brian tackled well. Chamari always tackles well. He had a bunch of tackles, right? And listen, I know you asked, Soren, I think you might have asked me last week about Noel Williams not playing a lot, and it was matchups and the whole thing, and this particular game was different. And where I'm going with it is it forces Chamarri to play in two different spots. He plays a nickel, then he goes back there, and he plays safety. So for him to be able to do that and work with Brian says a lot about Chamarri, and we value him and the fact that we can do both things with him. But I thought both those guys communicated and played really well in the game.
Matt?
Coach, in that tackle spot next to Chris, especially, how do you feel like Derrick has been kind of handling that since he came back?
Yeah, I rely heavily on Derrick with regards to. I trust him. I mean, he knows what we're doing. I know he's going to be where he's supposed to be, and he handles his gap. And now we don't put Derrick in the rush the passer because that's not his. But I think for what we're asking him to do, I think he's done a solid job for us. And we need that from those inside guys. I mean, you guys see it during the game. I mean, Chris can't be out there every down. So at some point, Joe's got to give him a break, and then the next two guys that go in there got to kind of hold the fort down until Chris gets back in there.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, good. Thanks.
I had to bring it up, huh?
So-